Hello and welcome to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Laurel Ridge Community College Day. I am back on the Zooms with Guy Curtis. He is their Director of Marketing. It is always nice to see your face, Guy Curtis, and I was joking with you before we started recording that you got yourself a fancy new headset, so now you're even going to sound better for everyone today.
Test 1, 2, 3. Does this sound good? Okay, great. Well, yes, hello and happy holidays from all of us at Laurel Ridge. This is a great time of year of joy, reflection, and community, and we're excited to continue serving our region. We're getting very close to the start of our spring semester, which is on January 20th. As you know, education is a gift, a time of year of giving, and it lasts a lifetime. So we're excited to help students take their next steps and work towards their goals here at Laurel Ridge.
And I understand today we're going to be talking about students that are still in high school because it's a very important step getting from high school into their futures, particularly if they're looking at a community college.
Yeah, that's right. This time of year, they're thinking about their class schedules and thinking about college and where they might be going next. And so, perfect time to introduce Dr. Sherry Maea. She's our new Dean of Early College and High School Partnerships. She brings a wealth of experience and passion for helping students. She's going to help us with those high school student opportunities. So, welcome, Sherry.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Guy.
So, Sherry, tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you land at Laurel Ridge Community College?
Well, I consider myself very fortunate to have landed here. I have been in the Virginia Community College system for about 10 years, in higher education for closer to 22. Spent some time at for-profit colleges, so I come into it with a different mindset of helping students to achieve their goals. But I will say that I was so excited to see this position at Laurel Ridge because the future of community college and our community development, I believe, rests in starting that engagement in the high school. And we do that in the early college programs. I have 4 children of my own. 3 of them are in or have been through college, so I understand the value of it. I was a first generation college student. I actually joined the military. I served in the Army, and I did enjoy serving, but I mostly went because I had no opportunity to go to college without taking that journey through the military first. So I just bring this idea that anyone and everyone can benefit from a post-secondary experience. It's not always the same path for everyone. And one of the things that we do in early college is help students get connected to that path early and to benefit from the good programs that we have here in the state of Virginia.
That program partners with all of our high schools as well. So it's not like you have to physically go into the high schools as Laurel Ridge Community College and recruit. You've got guidance counselors and people on the ground in the high schools that are already working with students who may have an interest in starting their college career before they finish their high school one.
We do, and we actually have a great program at Laurel Ridge. Another reason why I was terribly excited to get here, that we have put a career coach in every high school. And their primary focus is to make sure that a student has an opportunity to get through the 3 E's. So they can either be connected with enrolling in a future community college or their 4-year experience, enlisting. So some students choose to enlist first, like I did, or actually getting ready to earn. So earning meaningful credential while they're still in high school that makes them employable immediately upon graduation. And so even though Laurel Ridge places the career coaches into the high school, our high schools partner with us. We actually have a great partnership here. And these career coaches are expected to meet with every high school student and help them figure out the best path forward, whether that's through Laurel Ridge or it's not. I think that that is a great service that we offer. And I know that when I was in high school, that was not something that was emphasized at all. So I'm really excited to be a part of that.
It's really great to have those boots on the ground because I would assume that there are a lot of students out there that disqualify themselves from
Yes.
thinking college is an option, and having that career coach explain to them what their options are is probably pretty eye-opening.
Absolutely. One of the questions I ask every person that interviews for a position is, what do you say to the student who says that they're not college material? And there is one good answer for that, and that is that there is no one who is not college material, and that anyone can benefit from a post-secondary experience. And so we want to make sure that students know what is out there, because there's absolutely nothing that disqualifies any of our students from this experience. And we want to make sure we get them connected to the right program. Now, it's not always a 4-year degree. It's not always even an associate's degree. Often it's a career studies certificate, a short-term workforce credential. Any of those can help a student to be prepared for their future. And I just love the idea that we're talking about that when they're in 10th grade. So some parents are going to notice that their students are bringing home information from what's going to happen after 12th grade in the spring of this year.
And I think that's really important too, because you almost to a certain degree have to re-educate parents. Because my generation, we didn't even start thinking about that until we were juniors or seniors in high school. We didn't have the ability in the 80s to dual enroll. It wasn't something that was a thing back then. So you've really got to educate these parents too that these opportunities are available for their students.
There's so many misconceptions out there, and not just in the high schools. I do want to emphasize that this is also for homeschool parents as well. And we want to make sure that they understand that Laurel Ridge is their opportunity for assistance, for conversation. I put myself out there as a contact for parents. So if parents have questions, I'm the person they should contact because I can get them connected to the right person at the college, to the right program, to information about how to help their students excel, whether they're in a high school or they're a homeschool or they're in a private school. And so I think it's really important that parents have a resource and we can start to correct some of those misperceptions that weren't when we were all going to college. It was absolutely true that college didn't really start. We had a fun AP class that we did, AP English that we did in my senior year, but that was as far as it went, and there was no other opportunity at that point.
I got some sort of governor's seal on my diploma that meant I had taken some of those advanced classes, but it didn't really equate to a college credit or get me accepted anywhere. It was just an extra little plop on my diploma paper.
At that point, it probably did get you better acceptance rates to four-year universities, I'll say that. So there's always value to all of it. But dual enrollment, so of course I'm biased. Of course, I would love every student to take advantage of early college. But the amazing thing about that is that you are actually in a college class while you are in high school, which means that should you get a C or better, you have earned the credit hours towards your bachelor's degree, towards your associate's degree. Something very good for students happened in this last year where the legislature said that we need to offer the first 30 credit hours of a student's transfer degree for free. And so we have partnered with our local high schools to make sure that the Uniform Certificate of General Studies, which is a fancy name for that group of 30 courses, is offered at every high school. My students do have to qualify. They need to have a 3.0. They need to be math ready for college because these are college classes. But once you are, we can get the first year of your college experience really taken care of while you're still in high school.
And that is so incredibly valuable. So while we talk about sometimes students say they're not college ready, there are a lot of students out there that are college ready, but think they can't afford to be able to take that college class or do those credits. This is really going to remove that barrier completely for them.
It is. It is. And I'm excited because the financial barrier should not be a reason why people do not go to college. But if you ask, particularly if you're in a conversation with parents and students, very often that is the first barrier that we talk about. And the other barrier is just so how hard it is to understand how to get into college. And I've made it my life mission everywhere I have been that the hardest part of getting into college cannot be the application and admissions process. So we keep working on that. I can't say that we've necessarily got it all worked out yet, but every time we make an improvement in the process, we make it that much easier. And then the UCGS courses being offered for no cost to students and parents is, I think, one of the biggest barriers we've ever removed.
How do the logistics of that work? So if I have a child who is in that program and taking those courses, do they come to Laurel Ridge? Do they do them at their respective high school? How does that part of it work?
The courses that are offered for free are offered at the high school, taught by high school faculty who are qualified to teach college level courses. So there's a specific and rigorous process that those faculty members have to go through in order to be able to teach the classes. So what we'll do is the career coach that's in the high school will help all of the interested students get qualified and registered for those classes. There's a certain set of classes that count. They are your basics like English and math and science and psychology, humanities, social science, those kind of things. All of those really add up to your first year of your 4-year experience as well. So it's important that you work with a career coach at the high school, because they can help get you connected to the right classes. But I will tell you that as soon as you do that, we're going to send in our dual enrollment advisors to talk about how you turn those 30 credit hours into 60. And you do all of that at the first 30 for free and the second 30 at the community college rate. And then you're ready for your last 2 years of college when you transfer to your 4-year college.
Like Curtis, you and I have had a lot of conversations about that second 30 credits, for example, and the cost that's associated with them for Laurel Ridge versus a university where they may get and then realize, wait, this isn't really what I thought this career was going to be. And now they've spent all this money and taken all these classes and it's not their passion that they thought it was. It is so inexpensive to be able to take these credits at Laurel Ridge to learn that as you go and get a leg up.
Yes, absolutely. A third of the price for most four-year institutions, Laurel Ridge tuition rates can help you save money and earn college credits at a fraction of the cost. The big part of it is students get ahead. They have a chance to start on their degree early. And in some cases, as you think about it, you're in a high school with your teammates, colleagues, and folks that you know, taking these classes before you actually get pushed out into the real world of a bigger university or college setting. And so that's a great way to build confidence. Like you said, explore careers early and understand, do I want to invest my time and energy in this major, or can I start sampling it now before I get out there? And then it helps you stand out. So you have a chance to apply to colleges with this on your resume. And of course, with our acceptance programs we have for transfer agreements with many major universities in our state, that's a great way to get a leg up and get into those places that you want to be ultimately.
Let's take a break. When we come back, Sherry, can we talk a little bit more about some of those other benefits that Guy was mentioning? Because the transfer in and of itself is huge. The cost, obviously, is probably going to be at the top of a lot of parents' lists, but easing them into that college situation is also a huge benefit. Can we talk a little bit more about that in the next segment?
Absolutely.
We're on the Zooms today for Laurel Ridge Community College Day. Guy Curtis is joining us. He, of course, is their Director of Marketing. Dr. Sherry Maea is with us as well. She is the Dean of Early College and High School Partnerships. We're going to talk more about dual enrollment when we come back in just a couple of minutes.
Okay. I don't think Janet knows I'm recording this. She just stepped away to get another cup of coffee, so here's my chance. Hey everyone, it's Andy from the United Way of the Northern Shenandoah Valley. And yes, Janet, if you're hearing this, surprise, we're still celebrating the Valley Today's 2500th episode and this awesome community fundraiser you came up with. Here's the deal. Between now and the end of the year, it's Janet's goal to raise $2,500 to support the great work of the nonprofits in this community. If you give just $25 or more, you're going to be entered into a chance to be a guest on the show with Janet. If you give $250 or more, we'll make you a commercial just like this one that will air on the Valley Today podcast. So go to givebutter.com/the Valley Today right now before Janet realizes that I've hijacked her airtime. She's walking back in, cup of coffee in hand, gotta go. Remember to donate between now and the end of the year and support the great work of so many nonprofits and celebrate 2,500 episodes of the Valley Today.
Welcome back to the Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Laurel Ridge Community College Day, so we are on the Zooms with Guy Curtis. He is the Director of Marketing for the college. Dr. Sherry Maea is joining us. She is Dean of Early College and High School Partnerships. And Sherry, we were talking in the first segment about all of the benefits of high school students getting that foot in the door of a college experience and college classes, aside from the fact that the first 30 credits can be done with no out-of-pocket expense, which I think is phenomenal. Guy mentioned a lot of other benefits for students getting that early jump, like transfer. Let's just talk for a second about being able to transfer then into a 4-year institution. A lot of that stuff is just so crazy cool.
It absolutely is. There has been a ton of work in the state of Virginia to make the process of going from high school to the community college to the four-year experience as seamless as possible. And almost all of our public institutions are completely on board with that. And what is very cool is if you do your first year, the first 30 credit hours during your high school experience, and then you do your second year and earn your associate's degree at Laurel Ridge Community College, you trigger some guaranteed transfer agreements. Now, I'm not going to go into a ton of particulars because each one of them is a little bit different and they have different GPA requirements and how you actually fulfill those. But when you come to Laurel Ridge, you will begin talking about transfer from almost your first day, because it is so important to understand how to best maximize your time at Laurel Ridge to get you ready for your 4-year if that's where you're going. So I think the benefits are innumerable. The other thing is some students aren't ready to go away to their 4-year experience. And some students really do benefit from another 2 years in the safety of their home environment to build that college experience and be ready to transfer out. There is a transfer scholarship that's associated for students who finish their associate's degree. So every student can earn a transfer scholarship to their 4-year. So on top of all of the money savings, which for me as a parent, that was the biggest thing, honestly, it was how much less it would cost in order for my son to finish his associate's degree first. But there is just the benefit of giving students the ability to ramp up. And I also think about all of the students who have some college but no degree in the state of Virginia, thousands and thousands of students who have started their college experience and do not finish it, at least initially, because life gets in the way. You get married, you have a child, you go to the Army, you've got to stop out and get a job. What we do with the community college system is we actually give them real stop out points where if you stopped at this place, you still are employable and you can come right back in seamlessly. And I think that the Transfer Virginia initiative allows that in an even more prescribed way. So students can be very confident that you do the one at the 30 credit hours at the high school, you do 30 more at Laurel Ridge, and then you do your last 60 at your transfer college. I can't even list all the benefits of that, but the best thing is that students have a pathway and succinct stop out points if they need to.
It's interesting that you talk about that too, because last month on the show, Brandy's guest was Jeff Sinclair. And he is, I believe he was also an Army veteran and is in the pharmacy school right now at Shenandoah University. And I asked him at the end of the show if he had any advice for someone who was thinking maybe college was something they wanted to do or that it wasn't right for them. And he encouraged people to consider the community college because of that 2-year degree. He said, you can make that commitment for those 2 years and have that associate's. If you start off in a 4-year, get in over your head or have to stop, you don't really have anything to show for that 2 years into a 4-year institution. At least at Laurel Ridge, you can say, look, I got this associate. So I have this, which makes it easier to start down the road. It's the same concept for these high school students.
It sure is. And it's easy to pick it back up. To me, that's one of the best benefits. You've got something completed that you can take to anywhere you want to go. We have a big military population in this area who can get transferred to another duty station at the drop of a hat. And these are portable credentials that they can take with them and start up again wherever they end up. And I don't want to downplay the importance of our workforce program as well. We're working really hard in early college to develop more workforce pathways for students. We have the Future Educators Academy, which isn't workforce, so don't let me get it twisted. It is an associate's degree in education that is preparing our students to teach here. The whole goal of that program is to train them here, and then they come back and they teach here. With this teacher shortage, that cannot be underestimated, the importance of that. We're trying to expand that program to the Fauquier campus. Right now it's at Middletown, but we'd like to open another location of that program just because we have such a shortage of educators. We have the Trades Academy where our students can earn a certificate in the trades, like electrician is the one that we're working on currently. I probably don't have to tell anybody listening to me how lucrative and successful a student can be by earning a trade certificate and becoming an electrician. And then we are looking at how to better serve our homeschool population too and help them to achieve a credential at the end of their high school experience through something that I'm calling a Home Scholars Academy. I don't know if Guy will let me keep that name, but at this point, that's my name I have for it. And I think one of the things when I'm contacted by homeschool parents, We talk about math a lot, like how many people are doing great in homeschool and then their parents realize that they need to teach them calculus, and there is maybe a gap between the parent experience and the student knowledge of calculus. We're trying to offer this as a way for parents to augment what they're teaching in their homeschools, and then the student leaves with a certificate or a degree at the end of that as well. So trying to be inclusive, making sure that people have all the opportunities they can, and also triggering all the benefits of transfer. So that's where my focus is for early college.
It's such a great way for any student, whether they are already at the top of their class and they know what their career path is going to be, or that student who maybe needs that little bit of extra help or needs that transition time. I can remember when my son left for college, and the first time he came home during his first break, he was like, "This is not at all what I expected it to be. And I have to do this on my own. And I wasn't there to say, do you have homework tonight?" And all of these things. This really does give them that transition period to learn how to college, much less how to do all the other things.
Yeah, I agree with that. Guy was working with his high school student recently. I think he has a great perspective on that. Starting this conversation in 10th and 11th grade gives parents some intervention time before they're making that final decision about college experience.
Yes, absolutely. Working with my kids to make sure they're ready for college, but also the opportunities that they learn from within the high school setting and working with like students who are very similar in their passions. And I think it's where a lot of benefit also, it's an intangible that you don't think about. Certainly, there's a great cost savings and a chance to get ahead and explore careers, but they're with other students who are very interested in going on to college. And so having that firsthand experience at home is a great first step in developing those skills because geez, if they're not doing laundry or dishes or something, then hopefully they're getting things right in school. And that's what we want to make sure they're doing while they're here, because that's their job, right? That's their job to get ahead and be successful. And what a great way to do it, dual enrollment and getting some of those credits started and thinking about their future. So, yes, you're totally right.
I think it's one of those extra benefits, those ancillary benefits, Sherry, for us parents. It gives us a little bit of transition time before we send our kids off. So we know that we have prepared them and we know what's going to happen. And so do they. And that makes them so much more successful when they start on that 4-year experience.
Absolutely. They don't have to have that thought about whether or not I can do college when they're in their freshman dorm. They know they can do college because they've done it and they've been successful. And our students, by and large, are very successful. So faculty, both in the high schools and those students who do it at the college, they care. They truly care about whether or not the students are successful. And I truthfully, if we have students, just our regular population of students, if they're not successful, it's rarely because of a classroom issue. It's almost always because of something going on in their life that is preventing them from getting into the classroom. So for me, early college is a way to get them in the classroom without any of that extra life happening to them. So they can demonstrate success, learn that they can do it, and build from there.
So, for any parent that's listening or student for that matter, and they're thinking, I did not even know that this was a thing, and I absolutely want to get more information, what should their first step be?
Well, I'm going to say contact me because that's what I do and it's what I love. Guy's going to give you some better places to actually contact me to make that possible. But our website has a lot of information about early college on it already with links to click to get more. I would say their very first step to do if they are in a high school, so one of our traditional high school experiences, is to go to their counseling office and ask to meet with the career coach or with the counselor, whoever they're comfortable with. Everybody in that counseling office is there for their success. So it doesn't matter who you get. So that would be a great place to start if you're in the high school. If you're in the homeschool, Guy's going to give you the link to select, and then you'll get to me and I will be able to help with that. So I'll turn it over to Guy to give you better contact information.
I would definitely agree with you, Sherry, as far as reaching out to your high school career coach. And hopefully, I know ours by first name because we have a lot of questions and they're a great resource. So, definitely the person to reach out to. But if you are looking for more information about the early college programs, visit laurelridge.edu/early college. or just Google search early college at Laurel Ridge, and you'll find all those opportunities such as dual enrollment, governor's school, the Future Educators Academy, and the upcoming orientations that we have for dual enrollment, which is a great time to join and learn more. That's probably a good place just to ask questions live, real time. Online orientation for dual enrollment on January 13th at 6 p.m. If you visit the early college page, you'll find the registration link there to sign up in advance. Oh, and by the way, I do like Home Scholars Academy. I think that sounds good. It just reads off the tongue very good. So way to go, Sherry.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. It is a population that we have not traditionally been able to serve as well as we would like to. It's a hard population to help, but so important. And I will say this, our homeschool students come in and they are wildly successful because they've built independent study skills and all of that from the beginning. So we love our homeschool. I love the high school population too, don't get me wrong, but we definitely want to expand services and to reach kind of some new audiences.
Well, Sherry, thank you for taking the time today to give me some education and background on all this. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I am moving to this area. I've got a son finishing his senior year in high school. As soon as he's done, I will become a part of this community, and I'm really excited to be here.
Guy Curtis, I wish you well in your high school / college adventure with your son. I know what mine was. I'm happy to give you all the advice that you need.
Thank you. I might need it, but we're working at it. And so thank you so much. Again, happy holidays to you and everyone at the radio station and from all of us here at Laurel Ridge. So we're super excited for the start of our spring semester. It's going to be here very soon. That starts January 20th in 2026. Good gracious. Great opportunity to get started. We have also classes starting through the end of January and February. So depending on the 14 or 12-week cycle that you'd like to get on to get back with us in the spring semester. So apply today. Visit us at laurelridge.edu.
Two things about that I love. A, if you are even slightly thinking that in the new year, one of your resolutions is I want to go back to school or I want to learn something new, now is the time to do it. And the second is that I love that you have spring semester in January because it gives me hope that spring is coming, even though it's still January. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, absolutely. We love to call those semesters what they are. And so we're excited, especially this spring as we roll to commencement and see our graduates. So it's a special time of year.
I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, a few minutes after noon. So meet me here then.